Tonight, the Canadians, below the 500 mark early in the season, will host the Toronto Maple Leafs. Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network is brought to you by Molson Export. Nothing halfway about it. X says it all. The Leafs have their own French connection. Daniel Marois, the rookie from Verdun, plays his first NHL game at the Montreal Forum. And Marois, along with Vincent D'Anfous, is looking forward to this game like few others so far in the NHL. Marois is third among rookie scorers in the league. He has been a bright light for the Leafs with 4 goals. And Vincent D'Anfous, third in Leaf scoring, says it all for the 2 young French Canadians coming back to Montreal.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure for Danny, it's going to be really exciting. I know for me it was, and it still is. And I got a lot of friends coming in, and so is Danny. So it's going to be a big thrill for us to come back here and see all our friends, and playing at the Forum is a big thing for us.
A 500 record is good enough to leave the Leafs in first place in the Norris division. Meanwhile, in the Adams division, the Canadians suffered a 1-goal loss, their third of the season, to the Islanders Saturday as David Volek, the rookie from Czechoslovakia, scored for the Islanders. In the Adams division, Montreal is 2-3, and at the bottom, along with Hartford, 4 points back of Boston and Quebec. Good evening and welcome to the Montreal Forum. I'm Dave Hodge. The first thing you notice about this game is that the Leafs are higher in the standings than the Montreal Canadiens, and it's been a while since that has been the case prior to a meeting between these teams. And Montreal coach Pat Burns will no doubt make that mark as he talks to his players prior to the game. The Leafs are not the sort of team you want to lose to after 3 1-goal losses. If he's saying that inside the dressing room, let's find out what Joe Bowen and Harry Neale have to say outside it.
Thank you, Dave. You know, behind this dressing room door on a wall, a very famous piece of prose, and it goes, "From failing hands we hand the torch for you to hold it high." And Harry Neale, it means tradition, and tradition is a big part of this Montreal franchise.
Well, when you bring your team into Montreal to win a game, you have to play the existing Canadians, and you have to play that 7th man. You know, I was here this morning at 9 o'clock, not a light on. I heard these voices up by the Stanley Cup banners. Number 7, Howie Morenz saying, "Rocket, what about our power play?" And Rocket, "Well, it's not as good as we'd like it." "Doug, how about our defense?" "Pretty good." "Big Jean, are we any good at center?" "We're all right at center. We don't have to worry about that." "Doug, we better send somebody downstairs. I don't like winning 2 games out of the first 5. Harvey must have gone downstairs. Montreal will be loaded for bear tonight. The 7th man is their tradition, their great heritage, and their 23 Stanley Cup winners.
I realize you start hearing voices all the time, but I didn't realize it was that good. Larry Robinson is an individual who really epitomizes that tradition.
He'll be up there before long. Larry's trying to hang on for a little longer. The question is, can he be the force he was? Perhaps not, but he'll be the leader he always was, and every team in the league would love to have Larry Robinson.
And from George Vezina to Jacques Plante to Ken Dryden, now some youngsters who are trying to carry on the tradition in goal.
Well, I don't think you can beat those 2. 2 years in a row, they've won the Jennings Trophy for the best goals against average. You don't do that on a fluke. The coach, Pat Burns, can play either one. He's chosen to go with not rotating them, but who's hot, and he never seems to be wrong. So they're great in goal, and Hayward will show that tonight.
So tradition a big part of the Montreal franchise. Dave?
Thank you, fellas. In our first intermission, Larry Robinson, who, as you say, does epitomize the tradition here in Montreal in the late 1980s, will be in our intermission studio. NHL Primetime offers a comment on the rookie behind the Montreal bench, Pat Burns. In the second intermission, a veteran on the Leaf defense, number 3, ex-Philadelphia Flyer, Brad Marsh, will join me, and we'll take a closer look at Pat Burns, the man who guides the Canadians this season. It's the first of 3 meetings this season between 2 of the greatest rivals in hockey, the Leafs and the Canadians. You're watching Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network.